Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Brissett, and this is an example of a femtosecond laser with Malyugin Ring and Symfony lens placement. So you can see the pupil came down after completion of the femtosecond portion of the cataract surgery. These are great cases for iris hooks because the rhexis has already been created, and you want to be quite cautious not to grab the edge of the pupillary margin also with the edge of the capsular rhexis. And this is just a video demonstrating that you can still do a Malyugin ring in these cases. You just have to be cautious of where the edge of the rhexis is at all times. As you can see here, I get two of them on. I'm not sure about that one more superior, so I'm going to leave it. And then I'm going to come in with the second instrument here and just place it on the edge to make sure that I'm not also grabbing rhexis at that time, and then better center it. And you can see here I'm checking the edge to ensure that I do not have the capsule, that I only have the iris. And once I'm sure that I only have edge of the iris, I make sure to center it within the eye. The next step is then to remove the capsule lenticule and to ensure that you have 360 degrees of perforation. And then you can see the lenticle comes out quite easily. I then perform a gentle hydrodissection. I always remove some of the viscoelastic from the anterior chamber first, and then just a gentle hydrodissection in the femto cases. I also like to tap back the lens, and then I go around somewhat 360 degrees with just micro pulses from the hydrodissection to better loosen some of the cortex, which makes the cortical removal much easier. I'm then going to perform the nuclear disassembly. The first thing I do is just to remove some of the cortical material so that I can better see the rings that are created by the femtosecond laser, and then I remove the central portion. Once I've debulked this part of the lens, I'm then going to ensure that I have my 4 quadrants as was created by the femtosecond laser. I'm using a Nagahara chopper as my second instrument. I'm a left-handed surgeon, and this chopper is great because it can be used either left-handed or right-handed. I then rotate my lens and ensure that I have full separation of my 4 quadrants. Then onto the nuclear disassembly. The next step is the removal of the cortical material. I find in the femtosecond laser cases that the cortex removal can be somewhat more tricky. It is often difficult to somewhat find an edge. But you can see here, if you were quite good with your hydrodissection, then the cortex will come easily. The next step is insertion of the lens and then removal of the Malyugin ring. And I'm using a Symfony hook here. I disengage the furthest portion from me and further disengage the other parts of the ring from the iris. And then I like to somewhat move it out of the way, and I find that it's easier as I go in to remove the ring. It's easier to grab that first ringed edge to be able to remove it from the eye. And I use the Symfony hook here to help elevate the edge of my wound. And then you can see that the Malyugin ring retracts quite nicely.